Hey.
And our beloved father, Menace,
Hello. Hello, hello.
and the one and only Chris.
I'm here. On the
And
road again. On the road again.
on
On
the
the
road,
road again.
a road
I
again.
just can't wait to get
No,
on
I
the
will
road.
periodically give you guys updates on my location and what I'm seeing.
Oh,
Right
that would
now,
be great.
I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm looking at the rear ass end of a truck.
Very
Oh,
nice.
nice,
Is
nice,
it
nice.
is it how sexy is it?
Um, I've seen better.
I mean, if you were to put like a number on it.
Is it a 10? Is it a 6, 5?
It's a good 6.
Mm. Now, what makes a good 6?
It's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Cottage cheese?
Decent shape, and it looks like I could go in it
Mm.
if the ramp goes down.
Only if the
Oh
ramp's
boy,
down.
That
if
sounds
the ramp,
almost sounds that sounds like Cannonball Run sex or something.
oh yeah. So you
Um,
had a fit with Ilan Omar today. What was her tweet? Because I
Oh,
didn't see it.
it was nasty, and I will read it to you guys. I should have it on here, but I'm just gonna read it to you because
Let's hear it.
it just makes me really, really, really pissed.
Mad.
Yes, I used bad words on Twitter today. I really did. I used the B word. I used the C word. I used yeah. So Ilhan Omar, the chick that married her brother and committed fraud, who was welcomed by U.S. citizens in our country with open arms as a refugee, decided to write this today. It's without a doubt reflection of white nationalists is doing to our country. As a country, we have acknowledged that this is how people are being treated here and decide that we are better and we must do better. And she's retweeting a guy named Nick Mirnoff, and Nick Mirnoff says this is El Paso right now, with hundreds of migrant families are being held in a parking lot of a border patrol station because there is no room for them inside or elsewhere. She's calling this white nationalists. She's saying the white people of the US are being inhumane and trapping these immigrants in a cage. That just, it really just stroked me in the wrong direction today. It just made me so extremely. She's race baiting. She's funded by a Hamas funded organization. She's a jihadist. She talks crap about our country, a country that opened our arms to her, she wasn't even a true refugee. She committed fraud to get in here, married her brother, and she insists on us being accepting of her ideology that looks at us as infidels, as trash, and a reason to rape us and murder us. And we're supposed to take this? And she's calling us white nationalists, like we're the racist ones? We're the intolerant ones?
What was your response?
Oh, okay. I had a few.
Shut up, Billion.
What was my responses? I quoted white nationalists. Where am I? So
We're supposed to be the ones that didn't do our homework.
I know. I tweeted a lot today because I was very angry.
Yeah. So the main one had the C word and the B word in it.
Mm-hmm. I said, oh, okay. I called her POS. I said, let's give this American hate anti-Semitic POS a call and let her know that her race baiting crap is over. And then I posted her phone numbers. And then I retweeted white nationalists, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Are you kidding me? And these are all caps.
No, she was not joking.
You, Ilhan, are a racist biatch.
Ooh, snap, son.
Mm-hmm.
Did you really do that?
I did.
You done did
Where-
that?
I done did that. It is
Where-
on. Yeah, I was
Where's-
PO'd.
Where's the C word?
Okay. I think I was gonna call her the C word, but I did erase it. So I'm sorry. I wanted to, and I thought I did, but I didn't.
So you got us all excited.
I know. I could redo it. I can retweet it.
Well, I mean, your response was accurate. I mean, you used the right words. It was accurate. I mean, she's a bitch,
Yeah.
and she's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, for her to insist on us accommodating her ideology that is against the American culture, against the American ideology, against all, just the whole fabric of our country. People died to get away from that type of ideology that she's trying to insert in our country. She should not be on the Committee of Foreign Affairs. She should not.
She committed fraud.
She should be deported. Is where she should be.
No, you're exactly right. She committed fraud.
Mm-hmm. She was, married her brother.
Why don't we take cameras into Appalachia and show all the poor American families?
Yeah. Well, why doesn't she go back to Somalia and fix it? Why are all these people from different countries saying that America is so crappy and you need to let us in because you're all a racist and you all hate us? Then why do you want to be here if we're racist and hateful and all of this kind of stuff?
Well, it's an easy answer, because any country you can think of, let's say Sweden, let's just say Britain, let's just say any country that basically white people have developed, other people have flocked to it to move to, and that's just the truth. And it's not a racist thing. I'm not a bigot. I'm not a racist. It's the truth. Yeah.
I mean, I have myself. I've done missionary work. I've gone to Middle Eastern countries. I've gone to Islamic
missionary,
done work there. And I don't have a problem with Muslims. I have a problem with Islam. That's my problem. And I have a particular problem with people who insert their demonic, crazy ideology to tell me that I am a infidel, that I deserve to be raped because I don't cover myself, that I deserve to be beheaded because I don't believe the way they do, that I deserve to be lied to in order to them to further their agenda. But they're a peaceful country. It's like they don't talk about, the media doesn't talk about all the Christians that are being beheaded and imprisoned. And, there's a little girl right now who's enslaved because she refuses to, state that Islam is her faith. She's staying strong. So nobody's talking about how she's a sex slave to these Islamists.
What about all the castration of females?
Yeah. And that's the thing that just irritates the heck out of me. I'm a strong, independent woman. There's nothing being wrong with being a strong, independent woman. I still have old-fashioned values. Just because I'm strong and independent doesn't mean I don't have old-fashioned values. But here's the thing. These women who are these feminists who go out on these women's march wearing the pussy hats. I mean, come on. How can you take somebody serious wearing a pussy on your head? And you're going out with women's march and you're marching with Muslims who are told that they are half a worth of man? Really? No, that's not a woman's right. You're marching for this minion type sheep mentality that is going nowhere, and it is undermining our country. It's undermining our democracy. It's undermining our constitution, and it's undermining the values of our families here. And it's just, it's today. I'm just mad today. I'm
Damn
grumpy.
it.
Arr.
Damn it.
Anyways, I want to say some highs in here. We've got Michelle, we got Loretta, we got douchebags in the house. Friendship again. Hello, you look new. Welcome. And yes, Loretta Sanchez. Yes, vengeance is my, says Loretta. And that's the thing that we have to remember. Thank you for reminding me, Loretta, is that, you know what? All of this is going to be taken care of one way or another. So we just need to keep pushing along. We need to make sure that people are aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
We need to love each other.
One of the best ways to do that is to start white entertainment television. Wet.
Isn't there a wet television entertainment that you have to pay hourly rate for?
I mean, it sounds funny, but
Hello? Did we lose Father?
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm here. My signal is breaking up for some reason.
But
Well, finish that thought.
I broke up, so I didn't.
You said
on my end, it broke up. Yeah, well, wet entertainment television. It's funny. It sounds funny. The whole idea of it's funny, but I'm actually serious.
You know what? You know? I think people, and here's the thing. This, like, something happened to me today. I was on the phone, and this, I'm going to make a confession, you guys. This was totally, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm going to admit this. And there's a reason behind I'm admitting
Hey,
this.
Michelle.
There was a lady who I was walking outside, and she paid no mind to me. She didn't care. She just kept, she walked in front of me and like kind of stopped. And I was on the phone with Nick, and I said, wow, people don't say excuse me anymore, or, are rude. And I kind of said it tongue in cheek so she can kind of hear me, but I was kind of being funny and sarcastic at the same time, because I kept talking to Nick. So she wasn't quite sure if I was talking to her, talking to Nick, or anything. So I go outside, and she tries to cut me off again. And I just kind of sped up in my little shopping cart, and she goes, excuse me. She goes, are you okay? And in my head, I'm thinking, people, it's just, white people are being ridiculed so hard that now it's like this mentality is, if you're a minority, you can do things to white people and get away with it, because if they talk back, if they stand up for yourself, well, you can just call them a racist. And that was like the thinking I had, that she was just doing that because she was been empowered by this like crazy ideology that's going around right now. And sadly, that was I got sucked into that, because the thing was, she was just having a bad day. And she goes, and she looked at me, she was on the verge of tears. She's like, no, I'm just no, she goes, no, I'm not okay. And she's like, I'm having a really bad day. And I was just like, oh, I felt like crap. And I shut the phone off, and, I hugged her, and we talked, and we made good, but,
So there was like a We Are the World moment at the very end.
We are.
It was a happy ending. I made a mistake. I should have been kinder, because I didn't know whether she was in the right place or not. I was still responsible for myself, and I did something that was horribly wrong. But the problem, even though it was wrong, I'm not giving any excuses for it, but it's just, I feel like so inundated that, we're this bad race now, but, white person bad, white person doesn't, is inhumane, white person, hates all races. And that's the furthest from my heart. And that's the furthest from, who I want to be or represent. And here you're constantly being told, no, white nationalists, you're inhumane. It's like, no, I'm not, and it's just, you get grumpy. Hi, Forbidden. So
I really wish.
Hi, Bruce.
Chris has got to give us an update.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Any Amish yet?
Say again.
I said any Amish yet?
No Amish
What?
yet, but I'm on Amish watch. Don't worry.
Okay, okay. You should interview an Amish person. Can they interview? Can they talk?
I don't know if they can talk to my phone because it could be a
A
you know,
The
symbol
devil,
of the devil,
Bobby.
a symbol of
not allowed
Satan.
to talk to your phone English. Sorry.
Don't they speak their own language?
Yes. Yes.
It's like Germanic.
It's what?
It's a form of German they speak.
Oh,
And they used to call it Pennsylvania Dutch, but that was a
Yeah.
bastardization of the word Deutsch,
Deutsch.
which is the German word for
German?
the German language.
Sprechen.
Sprechen Sie.
Sprechen.
Well, your frustration, Chrissy, is I mean, it's not just the United States. I mean, we're talking, Europe. I mean, this is universal. I mean, now this is just it's all over the place now, and it's first of all, this is going to backfire big time. At some point, all this is going to backfire, and I mean,
Well, they're doing a good job at controlling that white nationalist narrative. That's what we have to fight against. And that's what we got to get over the big hoaxes that blacks are endless victims of white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything. But the media is so culpable in this. That's what's hard to overcome. Continue what you're saying, Father. Go ahead.
You're exactly right, Chris. I mean, the president says it all the time. He says in the United States, but not just in the United States, the BBC is just as. I mean, the BBC is probably worse than CNN, or just as bad. It is the enemy of the people. There is no more journalism. Journalism died a long time ago. It's all propaganda. And, this is where we're at. In 2019 and 21st century, this is where we're at.
Yeah, the propaganda has gotten out of control, and it's totally by design, and we have to keep each other informed.
But I think at some point we're going to have a station break.
Yeah. Nick, that's your part.
Oh, sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention.
Who are you talking to?
You're listening to Christiana Friday night. Oh, God.
Hey, DA. See, is there anybody else new in here?
That's one station break, and there'll be many more tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are the one.
Yeah. So, and, Michelle's in there. You guys check her Teespring store out. She's got some cool forbidden information. Her logo's looking classy, looking good. But yeah, and then the other thing today was really funny. I did have a funny tweet with Rashid or whatever her name is, and she's got a picture with she calls President Obama, and she was so excited because he said he's proud of her. Oh my gosh, that left a door wide open for all kinds of fun tweets.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't at the the ugly cookie factory making more molds for him.
No, she was. Well, maybe that's why Obama. That's where they saw each other and took a picture. There was that photo op, maybe.
What's gonna happen is this censorship, this propaganda, all this far leftism, all this horseshit. What's gonna happen is it's gonna backfire, and it's coming. I can see it coming. Before you know it, you're gonna see Sam Kinison type people. They're all just gonna pop up. At some point, it's gonna happen because there's going to be a breaking point. It's somewhere here soon is going to be a breaking point, and you'll see. You're going to see it coming. It's coming down the pike. I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely. I think people are getting pissed off because I called her, I called Pelosi, I called all of them today. All of their voicemails are full, all of them.
Oh, I
Because
bet.
I was so angry. I was gonna rip into the voicemail whether they heard it or not. I didn't care. I was gonna take up all their voicemail space I could because that was just ridiculous. That was just
Why didn't she? Why did
race baiting, anti-Semitic little twat she is, and she deserved to get it up yours.
We're sorry. The person you're trying to reach's voicemail is currently full. Please try again.
Why didn't she?
Nancy Pelosi's office, but I couldn't even get to hers. But it was at the end of today, so.
Why didn't she immigrate to Rwanda?
Yeah. Like, if these countries are so bad, okay, so the ideology you carry, the ideology that you have, are integrated in these countries that are doing so poorly and so are not doing very well, but yet you want to insert those ideologies here in a country that's thriving?
Yes.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, stupid is what stupid does. So now you want to bring stupid over here?
Oh, the Forrest Gump defense.
I have a degree in forestology.
That's awesome. I have a degree in shaggyology.
Where'd you go to school for that one?
I will plead the Shaggy defense on that.
All right.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
I plead the fifth.
I have a degree in grudge effing.
That's interesting. How does one do that?
Oh, believe me, you don't want to know. I mean, if I were to tell you, you'd have to get a vomit bag out.
Well, I mean, I asked.
Rod Grum, did you kill her?
Who killed who?
Well,
What?
Broad jump, he killed her.
Uh-oh.
He jumped and then missed.
Ah.
Broad jump. Anyway, you know what we ought to do, guys? Since we're talking about these narratives that they're pushing on the left, we need to talk about who we can support, who is the converse of those narratives, who's fighting those narratives and making progress. I have one to recommend.
Who?
Colin Flaherty.
Do
Yeah.
you guys
Anybody
know
heard of
who he is? Well, I know who he is, Chris.
Yeah.
You know that.
He's got a great book. And you can get him at minds.com or colinflaherty.com. FLARFLA. There's an H in there somewhere.
It's at the Flaherty.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Flaherty. Colin Flaherty, right?
FLARTY.com. And
Yeah,
he's
hey,
also
Chris,
on. Go ahead.
give him the backstory on him.
So he's a journalist. Now, I'll take a couple minutes here. He's a journalist who actually went and got a guy out of prison who was falsely accused, a black guy out of prison who was falsely accused by his girlfriend of attempted murder because he got evidence that the prosecutors left out. And some other, things that happened in the trial, he got it represented to the judge, got the guy out of prison. So he's like, oh, cool, he worked for NPR and he worked for the San Diego something or other. And in any event, he started realizing that, okay, I'm going to look into some more of these cases. And he basically started going, wow, there's a lot of black on white crime that goes unreported. Now, not a racist, like I'm not, like you're not, or whatever, because that's the more we don't fall into what they want us to stereotype, how they want us stereotyped, I should say, the more powerful we are. So Colin he's been kicked off of YouTube, because he says, all I'm going to do is show the truth. We were talking about fake hate crimes and all that a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, you will see, and he'll talk about like the latest crime against a black person that's made the national news. And that always makes the national news. And it turns out most times to be a hoax. Or if it's not, some old lady called somebody an N-word at a McDonald's and it's being played, 24 hours a day. Now he says, now let me show you what's going on in the world. And he documents every day. He scours the news reports from all over the country of black on white violence, black on white criminality, and how wildly out of proportion it is compared to any other race. And what he's saying is, I'm not trying to indict black people as much as we're trying to say, stop with the false narratives. And he's a pretty powerful guy. He wrote 2 books, one called Don't Make the Black Kids Angry, which was, there was going to be a curfew in some city, and one of the city councilmen said, oh, well, that's just going to make a lot of black kids angry. So we should just let them out on the streets and do the crime, And then he's got another one called White Girl Bleed a Lot. They're both great books. I recommend them highly. So that's a backstory called Flaherty. He does a podcast every day. He posts videos on Minds.com of all these crime within the last several months. He goes back years and years and years of just television story after television story and newspaper article where they won't name the defendant, but they'll show, they won't name the ethnicity of the defendant. 4 teenagers stopped and beat an old woman. Rape. He talks about rape a lot. Black on white rape is wildly out of proportion from white on black rape. And let me ask you this. I think Nick knows the answer. He documents all this. He gives case studies. He's what he's good about is not. Here's a narrative buster, and he calls those people up. But Nick, what is white on black rape statistically?
White on black?
Yep.
The percentage?
Yep.
Oh shit! I don't know. White on black. Yeah, last time I checked, it was 0, but I mean that was last year.
It is still 0. Now and Colin even says that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. It just means that the numbers so low being reported are they can't calculate them. Whereas black on white rape, completely different story. And he goes on to talk about it. And it's a lot of these stories are very, very disgusting and sad and cruel, and it happens every day, and the media never talks about it. So that's my recommendation for narrative fighting. Anybody else got somebody they can recommend?
Yeah. Well, Jesse Smollett, that little. I gotta censor my language here. It's going to get pretty bad. So Jesse Smollett, okay. So he gets off. This little punk gets off, and now he's going to L.A. because he's going to the NAACP awards. They're gonna shower him with all kinds of accolations and this, that, and the other thing. So this liar gets off, and now he's going to go to L.A. He's going to go to the NAACP awards, and they're going to just put him up on a pedestal.
Yeah. Well, here's the good part, though. Kim Fox is under investigation, and she's facing up to 20 years of crime against. I forgot what they're investigating her for, but basically for what she basically did. Being the AG of Illinois.
Well, how is she going to get in trouble, but he gets off?
Oh well, maybe if she gets in trouble.
I'm sorry if I can. I don't think she's being investigated officially yet. I think that was a person on Fox speculating if she is found guilty in any investigation, she could get 20 years.
Oh wow! Well, I hope they do it.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I read that story earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
That was on Fox, and I think that's just speculation of what she could get should she be prosecuted.
Well, I hope they do it.
Why did you? But don't, I'm not mad at Jesse Smollett at all.
Really?
I'm not mad at him for what I'm mad at him for what he is. I'm not mad at him that they dropped the charges. In fact, I think it's outraging everybody. I think it's a good thing.
Well, I mean, he's definitely brought light to the false narrative.
Yeah. So was that Jesse Smollett? Was that his white privilege?
Well, and it's really funny because at the same time he gets off, but Avenatti gets hammered.
Well, yeah, but they both should be. But yeah. Avenatti. Well, I mean, yes, of course. But also, there's one thing to remember: the feds aren't done with Jesse Smollett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the mail fraud thing, and the way it stands now, he can never be charged for that crime again. However, I don't know if there's going to be some sort of mea culpa on the prosecution where they go, "Oh, we're sorry. I guess we screwed up. We can open up the case to federal charges." I think you should be sued.
I think they are doing that, though. I think they are.
Yeah. Well, I think they're demanding that money. I don't think they may have filed a suit, but I think they've said you owe us $130,000. But to him, what's that?
Yeah.
So, in any event, so does anybody recommend a narrative fighter that we can all support? Go check out Call of Flirty. I all of you have to.
Well, for the people that I follow that I really like to push and promote is they're more global politics and more in line with, Bible prophecies and stuff like that. I really like Omar Safadi, and what's going on in the Middle East this last week has been horrendous. I mean, there's been a ton of missiles fired at Israel. And Israel, here's the thing. People want to, poke sticks or dismiss Israel and talk about how Israel is so evil and this and that. But here's the thing. They're constantly being hammered. And the punishment that they could give to Hamas, the punishment that they could give to, Gaza Strip or the Palestinians or Iran is they can wipe them out just like that. No problem. But they don't. The way that they execute but they're not going to take it either. And so when they retaliate very mainly. They drop door knockers before they bomb something. They let them know we're going to bomb this, so you might as well get out now. And they give them plenty of advance notice to let them know that the bomb's coming. This is what we're going to hit. And
can you imagine the Middle East without Israel?
They'd still be fighting.
No, but I mean, can you imagine Israel not existing in the Middle East? It would be just one giant hellhole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at what Israel has. I mean, they were given back their country 70 years ago. I mean, that's not a long time. And how they've they advanced. They were given a desert, no water, and look what they make basically water out of air. Their technology is phenomenal. They've got the Iron Dome, which is just an amazing system. I mean, all of that, and the cool thing about all of that stuff, that was all prophesized. That was all prophesized 2,600 years ago, and it's coming true today. And that's kind of like the exciting part. Like for it to go, for them to prophesize about that, Israel will return to the Jewish people, and and within a generation, and it's going to flourish, and they're going to be able to, it will be wealthy. It will be a wealthy country, and look at what they've done. It's phenomenal.
Okay, so are you going to answer my question or no?
What was the question?
Who can you recommend that is a political narrative fighter in the United States that we should support.
There's a guy who does Agenda 21, and he's out here in California, and he has a podcast. And I'm not sure what his name, but if you just do Agenda 21 California, you'll find out who he is. And he definitely fights for Californians. But I would say Tom Fitton would be one of my propaganda heroes. With
propaganda heroes? What do you mean?
Well, fighting the propaganda and fighting the deep state and stuff like that. With Judicial Watch and all the stuff that he files, and getting out the FISA Freedom of Information Act stuff, letting the people know what's really going on. Like the illegal, he's been the most active as far as getting the research and the information about all the illegal votes that have been going on, especially in California. I mean, he's exposed a lot of corruption. And our agencies are not doing anything. He's the only one that's doing it, but we need to support him.
Are you talking about what's his name? Grindal?
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 Grindal. I forgot how you pronounce it.
I don't know.
I think
he's out in California.
I don't know what his name is, but I was just talking about I forgot his name. Judicial Watch. Fitton.
Tom
Fitton. Thank you. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watch him periodically. He's really good.
Okay, Father, do you recommend anybody?
I'm really trying to rack my brain because it's like a spinning wheel of all these faces and names, and I'm trying to lock down somebody to mention on the program, but not right at this moment. Maybe it'll come to me after a station identification.
Yes, can we get it?
This is Brown Stain Fair, and you're listening to Quissy Ann on Friday Night Chat. And
Nick, I know you like Fleckett.
Yeah, but I don't think Fleckus is necessarily. He's more on the ground, No,
I mean, I think he's a great narrative fighter, though, too.
Yeah, him and Slightly Offensive and some of those guys, all of that group over there that are doing.
You know what? No, I got him. Sabo in Los Angeles.
Ooh, I got one. Dan Bongino.
Wait, who's Sabo?
Sabo, he's an artist in Los Angeles. I'll give you an example. You'll know who I'm talking about. For instance, when they destroyed Donald Trump's star on Hollywood Walk of Fame, his crew went out that night and they printed up Donald Trump's star and they stuck it all over Hollywood. I mean, everywhere, all over the Hollywood Boulevard. He covered up. They covered up other people's stars, and Donald Trump's stars were everywhere. Mm-hmm. He's like
S-A-B-O-S?
It's Sabo.
Yeah, S-A-B-O. He just did that thing on Ilya Omar.
Yeah. He's awesome, man. Ben Garrison, but in Sabo.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really.
I like Dan Bongino. He's on Fox a lot, but he has his own podcast and YouTube, and he was a Secret Service agent.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dan Bongino was a Secret Service agent.
Yeah, he's got a lot. I think he's got a lot of. He's great, and we should support him for sure. But he's kind of out there already. I think he's got quite a few million people who like him.
I think people like Sabo, these artists, these very clever artists, I think that has a real an effect, because you know what I mean, like Dan Bongino and everybody. That's everyone. That's the same kind of stiff shirt kind of presentation But Sabo is very clever. It's just, you know what I mean? I think we need more people like that with, that are, because if in the entertainment industry, and especially in art and that type of art, it's all left leaning, and we need to support more people like Sabo that are very clever at getting back at with politicians. The billboard, he covers up the billboards in Los Angeles, like Estrogen Hour with Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm now in Ohio.
You're in Ohio already?
Good luck with that drive.
Wow, that's quick.
That's an endless sea of cornfields.
Right. Ohio, the most boring state to drive through.
True. It's very flat, and it's the problem with Ohio is it's full of Ohioans.
That is also a huge issue.
The grass man is in Ohio too.
Ohioans are okay, but so what I like about Ohio? It's fairly conservative. Fairly.
That's cool. Yeah. We need more conservatives. I gotta give a shout out to Nacho and to Jack. Jack, you're new. Thanks for coming by. And to Kristen. Hello. Thanks for stopping by.
But most states are. I mean, most states are. Most rational thinking people are center right, and they will go left on certain things. But most rational thinking people that live in small towns and in the countryside are like center right. I mean, everywhere. Well, you got San Francisco, New York City, Los Angeles. The typical places.
What's the one common denominator in those places?
The common denominator?
The common denominator in all of those leftist places, they're all extremely high populace.
Yeah.
So this is why if they take, if they're able to somehow successfully subterfuge the electoral college.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Did you hear about the 13 states saying we're going to give our electoral votes to the winner, the popular vote?
Can they do that though?
Well, they're trying. I mean, they're trying really hard. They're trying to get the illegals to vote. They're trying to get 16-year-olds to vote. They're doing whatever they can.
And remember, the Electoral College was fine with everyone until Hillary lost. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they know
No
that
problem with it.
that's why we're going to get 1,000 or 1 million illegal through the southern border this year, is because they need those votes.
It's very tough. It's very tough to get rid of the Electoral College. I mean, there's so much process.
Well, it is, but this is they're attacking it from a different angle. To abolish it would require, 2/3 of states and a monumental act, and no state's going to give up their own rights. However, to take electoral votes from, states, typical blue state, Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the electoral college votes went to Donald Trump because, he won the state. Now, what Michigan can do, although I don't know if they've signed up, but as a typically blue state, could say, hey, man, our state law says our electors have to give their votes to the winner of the national popular vote. So it's a different kind of, they're sort of nullifying it, if that makes sense. They're nullifying what the Electoral College is meant to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is Michigan really a blue state? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty blue.
Yeah, it is. It's urban center.
We
and I'll tell you what.
We border on Michigan borders on a swing state, but it's still blue. You know,
Yeah, but I
obviously.
mean, what does, I mean, you guys are in Michigan, so what is the average I'm not talking about Detroit. I'm talking about outside. What does the average person say? Are they saying, "Oh yeah, we love socialism and communism"? I just can't
No, not at
see
all.
that.
Let me tell you what Michigan does. Michigan is very entrenched with unions, and unions always, whether it's nursing or manufacturing, automotive,
Right,
the
right.
unions are very powerful, and they all toe a Democratic line. I mean, my stepfather rather,
Mhm.
is a GM retiree, and he gets the newsletter, and I go over to his house to visit, and I read the newsletter, and it's nothing but watch. It's like reading MSNBC and BBC
I
and all
mean,
these.
where do the unions get off when you pay your union dues? Where do they get off funneling that money to the Democratic Party? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I'm paying my due, but I don't. Hey, that's my fucking money, and I don't want it to go to the Democratic Party.
yep. You
I mean,
you have no choice.
well, I mean, okay, so how successful are the unions? Look at Detroit.
Well, the
Oh,
unions are pretty. They're not what they used to be, that's for sure. But
yeah,
they
they're.
still have clout. You know what I mean?
But one of the most leftist unions you'll find is the nurses
Yeah.
and the teachers.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
of course.
for sure.
And I don't understand why and how teachers are so left.
I don't either. Because I have
Where
one
is
of my
that
clients.
coming from?
Well,
I don't know.
I have an opinion because it all delineates and filters down from the university. These people are indoctrinated in the university. They often, in order to advance in their career, they have to get advanced degrees. Education is literally a liberal art. You know, it's not like a STEM thing. You'll find a lot more engineers or a lot more, you know, teachers. I mean, you know, your shop teachers, uh, your math teachers, your higher level teachers, when they have a STEM education, they tend to not be as indoctrinated. And you'll find some conservatives in there. Hunters, you know, I say shop teachers because there was an interesting thing where they did a survey. A lot of shop teachers are hunters, so they appreciate the Second Amendment. They are a little more educated. They look outside the university indoctrinations and talking points. So that's why I think the teachers are so entrenched. Is because I mean I have a very dear friend who's very entrenched. My sister is works for the school. She's very entrenched in that union because they're treated poorly. Number one, teachers are, and they find that this is their safe haven. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm dealing with that personally too, and I think you're 100% right. It's when you have people that, especially when they hit a certain level, um, I feel like the bullshit just gets worse the more education you get. You know what I mean?
They're worth universities
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, like from, you know, even going through like a graduate school or something like that. It's just,
oh, that's
um,
even worse.
right. So they're teaching certain things, and I've had arguments with people. Oh no, you know, this is I took classes. I know about this stuff, and I go, just because you were taught that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the truth.
It's funny, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
mean, major
you can,
universities. Sorry,
and that goes back to the STEM thing. So, like for instance, when you take science, how are you going to throw your political views into science? You know what I mean? But
yeah.
when you're dealing with other aspects of the universities, there's a lot of that going on, and it
Feminist and gender studies.
all,
There's a class in almost all of the Ivy League schools that deals with whiteness.
dear
What?
white people.
On whiteness?
Are you
Yep.
kidding me?
No,
Jesus Christ.
there's I will find you the curriculum, and
Yeah.
I think Columbia University has a course on
Yeah.
whiteness.
Well, of course, it's Columbia University.
It's an Ivy League school, you know.
I guess I don't understand the whole premise behind it. So the what is the idea? To demonize? To
Of course.
I guess they're in their pursuit to be woke. And I
Whiteness
mean,
is, yeah. I mean, they,
I was on yesterday, Chris. You weren't on yesterday, but I read this this post that this guy had wrote about being a straight white male, and he was kind of bitching that Hulu didn't have a straight white male section when they had like a LGBTQ, section and a black section and a Hispanic section and an Asian, and the comments, just the comments alone were ridiculous. It's all, oh, you poor you cis white man, you have it so bad. The rest, anything pre 1982 has nothing but straight white males in it. You don't deserve a section because previous to that, that's really seriously. So, Birdcage, what year did that come out? You know what I mean? There's plenty of movies that aren't focused around straight white men, and definitely not celebrated, for instance.
Oh
Okay.
no, that's racist.
Well, that's my point. So to say that anything previous to this is all straight white men. No, well, no, it's not. It's not a celebration though. You're asking for special treatment because of whatever, black actors or, the Key and Peele. You know who those guys are? What is that? Peele had. I saw an article about him saying that he has a hard time believing that he would ever cast a white person for any roles in any movies that he ever writes.
That's fine.
But my point is,
imagine a white director saying that about the black people.
Correct.
Was that Spike Lee saying something like that too?
Yeah. I mean,
that little cockroach.
I guess I just don't understand. How do they not see the hypocrisy in that?
Well, because they feel that they're victim class. That's what the left is based on. Is victimhood.
I understand, but it just doesn't make any sense. Well, but I can't be racist because I'm a victim. So that's like a rapist getting raped. Well, I can't be raped because I'm a rapist. You know what I mean? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So
one of the fundamental things I think you have to remember is that they're not representing the populace in the media as a whole. For example, and thank you. When I was remember when the transgenders were not allowed to serve in the military?
Yes.
And there was this big blowback. And I was on Twitter and I really got my most serious block when Alyssa Milano, all these stars, all these political figureheads, we're all chiming in that this is terrible. And, how can the U.S. do this? This is cruel. These people deserve to serve. And I said something that I think is very poignant. I said, I'm sure all 6 of them are crushed.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not paying for your operation.
Yeah, I mean that's incidental to the whole thing. You're right. I mean it's a big waste, but this is a mental illness. This isn't what I like. Homosexuality, I have completely different issues with. I homosexuality, I think in most cases is not a choice. I don't even mind transgender people. I don't mind if they do those things. But the point is there's a fine line between equal rights and special treatment.
Yeah. And I think that's what it's coming to is if they don't get the special treatment, then
it's not exactly. And it's not sexual preference. This is gender dysphoria.
Basically it's, hey, I'm here, guys, look at me, I'm here, look,
you're not
I'm
special.
here.
You're not special. Nobody is.
Here.
You're not special.
But look, I'm here.
Just because you decided you wanted to have sex with a man or same sex, man or woman, you're not special. That's
But
a
I'm
choice.
here. But I'm here. Look at me.
Well, yeah, and then now, because you got to make special combinations for them. Now you're putting little kids at risk. So, we've got to let men into the ladies' bathroom with little girls in there.
Oh,
Right.
have you heard the arguments against that, Chrissy? Oh, you think that just because they made this law, this hasn't been happening forever? I go, what you don't understand is maybe it has been. You might be right. But this also opens the door to those to exploit that.
Of course.
Now.
Exactly.
So what your argument, what you're saying in your argument may very well be true. There may have been transgenders that were using these bathrooms this entire time. And what does it matter? Okay, fine. But I called it, and as soon as all these places started implementing it, all these articles coming out. Oh, man found videotaping women, in a women's bathroom, claimed that he was transgender. Da 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 da. And I'm like, see, I told you.
There's my green light. There's my green light.
You're giving them an opportunity. You're giving people to exploit it. So what you're doing is you're actually hurting the cause more than you're helping it at that point, because now people are going to go, oh, hey, cool. I have a free for all now. I might be a perv, but now I could just say I'm transgender and I can go in the girl's bathroom.
Oh yeah, no.
And nobody can say anything.
The pee is in the closet, and they're just waiting to open the door and let it out. The LGBT XYZ 123 community is bullshit. They got the pee in the closet, and they're just waiting for the right moment to let it out.
I'll tell you, I know a lot of gays and lesbians that don't like being lumped in with transgenders, that don't like being put into a group with all these different people, because it wasn't even what their cause was about to begin with, right? So now they're tossed in with a whole bunch of other folks that they don't even want to be associated with.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Nick, you're exactly right about that. And like I said, there's a difference between homosexuality and transgenderism. That's gender dysphoria. It's a mental disorder. But Nick, did you know there's a lady who knows all that glitters is gold?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what she's buying?
No, probably a Stairway to Heaven, if I had to guess.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The special treatment has gone too far. And the other thing that's being discussed a lot, that it's kind of scaring me, is this constant talk about pedophilia and trafficking children. I think even though it's such a horrible thing, we are hearing it over and over and over again. And that's part of conditioning. Like, we need to be understanding that's part of, even though it's like, oh my gosh, that's so horrible, but the more we hear it, we become desensitized by it. And so people who are on the fence are going to start leaning.
That's what I was saying. The pee is in the closet. They're just waiting for the right moment to let it out.
Yeah. And they're pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's, we've got that's my weakness right there, is kids.
Well, I mean, yes and no. So, I mean, especially for that type of situation, absolutely, but then you have these people that are exploiting the kids for that cause as well, which even makes it even worse,
Oh yeah, like the
11-year-old kid, 11-year-old boy shaking his ass in a gay club in front of adult men.
Stripping?
Yeah.
Amazing. I think it's Desmond Amazing or something is his name.
Yeah. It's insane.
What's that kid's parents, for God's sakes? You kidding me?
They're the ones that are pushing it.
This.
Yes.
Disgusting.
And half the time the kid looks drugged. And in fact, they
is drugged.
Interview with a person. This guy had a YouTube channel, and they were celebrating this kid, being trans, and the kid looked drugged, and the guy's YouTube channel, he had he was a pedophile, or he had some type of sexual conviction. I don't remember the name of it, but
Where was this at?
this is somewhere on YouTube. I'm sure if you search it, research Desmond Amazing, and you'll find it, because somebody did a YouTube thing about it. But I've seen the kid in other videos and on TV and stuff. He looks drugged. He looks exhausted.
He does look tweaked. Well,
he is on drugs.
Here's an example of the whole mentality of these people too. Like, yeah, I know everybody can probably relate that, you go into a store, a Target or whatever it may be, and some of these asshole kids are running around and the parents aren't even saying anything to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you know what? Like, it's not really my place, but I want to, I feel like I should say something because these kids are assholes, right? So you go to the parents and you say, hey, listen, your kids are kind of, making a mess, and people have to, work here, and they're messing everything up. Oh, don't you tell me how to parent my kid. That's how my kid is. My kid identifies as an asshole, so get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they. Oh, we're gonna support it. We don't care. Whatever makes little Billy happy.
Thank you for raising a generation of monsters.
Exactly. But that's the whole point. It's the mentality. Oh, well, he's a shining star, no matter how much of an asshole he is. You know what I mean?
I know, Nick. He's a shining star, no matter who you are.
That's right.
Two sides to see what you could truly be.
That's right.
Shining star for you to see what your life could truly be.
He's a shining star, no matter who you are.
Ooh, we should
Right.
do a song about that.
I mean,
Anyway,
Chris
I'm happy we're talking about. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, Chris doesn't have a piano. You gotta have a Casio in your passenger seat.
I know.
Yamahas in the back. But this is how we do it. This is Friday night.
Yeah.
I feel all right.
Feel all right.
Yep.
Right,
Party's here on the west side.
Tomorrow night, Chris?
What's that?
Are you going to be by the piano tomorrow night?
Yes.
Okay. So for all you guys listening, tomorrow night on our live stream, Chris will be taking requests. I think. I didn't ask him.
I think Nick should have a bass or a drum set with us.
And Father?
Yeah.
Do you have
You can't really sync that up.
That would be kind of hard.
Nah, you'll just everybody will get their own solos.
No, you got
Yeah, so like so it's a generation of it's the generation of you showed up, you got your trophy for just showing up. You're so special. Let me pat you on your head. You're so special. Here's your trophy. Remember, you're special. And no.
But knows how to lose.
You're being lied to. You're not special.
Billy, you're special.
Yeah. Yeah, you're only special if you're, well, and two, they're making it trendy to be
special.
K. Special K.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
I was hoping so. Yeah, there you go, Chris. That's it. Special K.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. So, anyways,
y'all are special.
Y'all are.
What's the gallery have to say about all this?
Kristen K says, Chris, please learn my song by Nine Inch Nails called "Something I Can Never Have." Forbidden Information says Desmond the Grime Kid or the Drag Kid. I don't have my glasses on. Melvin. I have to say hello to Melvin. Melvin is one of my favorite mods.
Hey, Melvin.
Hi, Melvin.
Hello.
Melvin is tired of the illegal immigrants getting free stuff, free this and free that.
Yeah, what about our own poor people in Appalachia and all across the United States, our own people that are poor? What about them? Where are the cameras on our own people in our country that are poor?
I
Sick
want to
of
know
this
where the
shit.
cameras are on the working class in California that are homeless.
Yeah, I'm sick of this shit. I mean, what about our own people, for God's sakes?
It's just it's a catastrophe. You know,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? I mean, let's be honest. How are even us talking about it and having this conversation? The only way to change any of it is to really get people to wake up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that's the goal. You know, of what we do and what other people are out there doing. You know, is to get people to wake up to the realization that what is really going on out there. But I think there's so going back to the indoctrination of the whole thing. It makes it really hard to even sit down and red pill someone because it's been ground into their fabric so hard that even if you show them, you know, factually, you know, that
Okay, but
what they're saying is untrue, they don't want to believe it.
okay, Nick, why is it that, like, for instance, uh, from day one, or okay, let me put it to you this way: why is it that you, Nick, can see right through the bullshit? Why is it that I can see through the bullshit? Everybody on this panel can see through the bullshit, and I'm sure everybody in the chat room can see right through. Why is it that we can see it plain as day? We can as soon as the professor, the used car salesman, starts puking out his propaganda, we see it right away, and somebody else just doesn't for
Well,
some reason.
because you have leaders and you have followers. Okay, there's two very distinct type of people in this world, right? And not to
Yeah,
say that I'm a leader or you're a leader or Chris is a leader, or Christiane's a leader, but
Would
it's
you
the
like to be a leader too?
yes, I would.
yeah.
But
I'm a
it's
leader. She's a leader. All right, go ahead.
where we have that mentality that you know that we're not going to just listen to people and take the word for it. You know,
And
we
drink the
want it.
Kool-Aid and stand in line.
We want the truth. We thirst for the knowledge, right? And not that I'm 100% knowledgeable in any of these things, because I'll be honest, I'm lazy as shit. But I have enough common sense and enough logical uh, reasoning and deductive reasoning skills to be able to see through most of it, right? Even when it comes down to things that are is so simplistic that people want to argue about, and it's like, listen, this is black and white. This is not. There is nuance to everything, so we can all. I'm sure we can all agree to that. But the nuance doesn't make a difference when the facts clearly point one way or the other. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I have something to add to that, and it's what I've always said, and this is my little slice of wisdom that I'm pretty proud of, and nobody cares about on Twitter. But I've always said, and this is true, I think you can all agree with me, conservatives or libertarian kind of minds are discovered through reason. Leftists are indoctrinated.
It's
That's
true.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One is born of discovery. One is born of a viewing of, interpolating narratives and versus reality versus and leftism is all indoctrinated.
Well,
It's
and it,
all
Well, it's like, you get in a conversation on Twitter. Well, where's the article that backs it up? Where's the article that backs it up? It's like, first of all, it's collective information
Jesus
that
Christ.
you have to go out and find yourself. And that reasoning comes with gathering that information. Just because somebody is employed by, a large propaganda machine doesn't make them honest. That's the thing that I don't get. It's like, in being in the medical field, just because somebody that has a doctorate writes a report or does a study on, some type of disease doesn't mean it's a valid study doesn't mean he did it correctly, doesn't mean he's speaking the truth. You have to research who's this dude or this doctor, who's, what did he do? How did he use it? What was his study? What was his, what was he it against? Is there just
the funniest part about that is, Christiane, is these people will throw things out, and then and if you ask them the same question back, their immediate response is, well, you have Google, you'd research it, find out for yourself. Right? I've gotten this so many times. It's like, you're the one that's coming to the table and saying that the burden of proof is on you, not on me, right? So if you want to know the answer, then go look for it, right? I'm not.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But if you look, I mean, Nick, do you consider yourself right? Correct. You're not necessarily conservative.
Well, I'm not wrong.
Correct. But if you look at each of the talking points on the spectrum,
I consider myself center right.
Right. Okay. If you look at and if you look at each talking point, and I'll give you a couple of examples. One requires an overarching leap of almost an incredible leap to get there. For example, the world is going to end in 12 years. Leftist talking point due to climate change. The right talking point. The Second Amendment is a valued right of each American. I mean, does it take a mental leap to get there? The world ending in 12 years takes a mental leap. How about this? Here's a conservative talking point. Abortion is murder. Okay? It really is. You're just killing something. Okay? Mm-hmm. The left, there are more than two genders. It's like it always takes this hyperbolic, hyper-inductive sort of reasoning to get to that talking. I mean, and I could go on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you want to wake up every morning a professional victim? Why would you want to be that weak?
That's exactly right.
Spineless?
Does everyone here see that? Isn't it amazing that if you look at all the right talking points, most of them, I can never say never, they don't require huge leaps of logic and mental gymnastics to come to grips with.
Exactly.
All the left ones require huge leaps of faith in directions they don't understand. Like again, climate change. I mean, I have a 1989 that says we're going to all be dead by the year 2000. You know what I mean? So you have to get involved in this hyperbolic sort of panic mode in just this one issue. But how about this? People are dying at the border because of ICE. Well, wait a minute. You've got to make a huge mental leap to get there. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Anyway, so that's why I think we are like we are, because people who are not indoctrinated do not take the pablum, milk toast that they're feeding people in the universities, in the unions, in the elementary schools, and take it like point blank. I mean, you have to somehow arrive at a constructive, critical thinking point where you go, oh, wait a minute. So 12 years, it was like, I don't know if I told you that story before. In the 80s, when I was in elementary school, they used to tell me in an area the size of Florida, each year is the size of Florida is decimated in the rainforest.
Yeah.
So I remember taking a map and a true topographical map, measuring Florida, measuring the rainforest, and going, holy shit, that's going to be gone in like 4 years.
Yeah.
And never happened. And that's where it all started for me. My soapbox.
Well,
I mean, do you guys agree? Do you agree with that?
Oh, I totally agree with that. I mean, I was just I can't find my words. It just makes.
I mean, look at it now, like Christiane. Look at it now in today's narrative. Nick with Jussie Smollett. Okay? 2 white guys beat me in 20 below zero weather.
I'm
who
already
I
laughing.
O'clock in the morning.
wearing Make America Great shirt again and telling me this is MAGA country. How many leftists didn't have to make that leap to know it was true? They all did.
Oh God, I'm already getting the aneurysm just hearing you say that.
But I mean, and
I
I did buy for a second.
I think
I knew it was a hoax immediately because it's the same
yeah.
old thing. But I mean, how many people?
It's the old "my dog ate my homework" trick.
Oh God, it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. When I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? You can't come up with anything better than that. Are you that dumb?"
Well, you know what he's saying now? The Nigerians were wearing white makeup, so that he that's why.
Oh God, it just gets worse.
Oh, so black guys doing whiteface, not racist at all.
No. Mm-mm. Nope.
Well, it was just around the eyes. It was like reverse raccoon.
What is it? The Wayans brothers? Didn't they do like White Chick or something?
Yeah. Oh, the white chicks is totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's make fun of a whole entire culture and
Yeah,
dress.
well, I mean, Richard Pryor would get up on the stage and he would just lambast white people for at least 30 minutes in his set, and all the white people in the audience were laughing.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, they've ruined comedy. They've totally ruined comedy. You know,
I think it's perfectly okay. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
That movie about white chicks to me was hilarious. It was funny,
Well,
kind of.
I take the South Park defense on that. It's either all okay or none of it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
And it's all
Chris?
okay.
yeah.
Update, Chris.
Central Ohio, Central Northern Ohio, flat as hell. It's
Still
dark,
sucks.
and I'm wearing sunglasses.
Still sucks.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
He's on a mission from God.
Attaboy.
Are you going to see like are aliens landing or what's the deal?
Yeah. That or strippers. I can't remember.
So
Coming
I
to the stage next, Bubbles.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I was like, you know what? I'd rather live in a tent in the woods than be on the government dole. And they're like, what? I said, I'd rather be out in the woods in a tent, fishing, and whatever on my own than having the boot heel of the government on my neck and waiting for a handout.
Yeah.
They think I'm crazy when I say that. They think I'm nuts when I say
there's
that.
nothing wrong with we pay into a system. You know, if you have a job, you're paying into a system that's supposed to assist you because we all fall in hard times, you know, now and then. And that's okay.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about welfare queens and gaming the system.
Oh yeah, that's different. That's taking advantage of the system to the point of, you know, no respect or self-respect. I mean, that's
meaning that you just gave up your entire life. You know, your life could be free. You know, you're working. I don't care. If job could be, you could be working at a convenience store, but you're working, you're making your own money, you go on your own vacations, you know what I mean? You're living but as soon as you get into the government dole as a gaming the system, you just have completely given up you've handed your entire life to the system, because once you get into that, you can never get out of it. And then you end up, before you know it, you're 60 years old, 70 years old, you never did anything with your life.
But do you notice a pattern here, though, too? So the same people that are going to defend those that do that and say that these things never happen are screwing the people that actually need it, for one. And then the correlation between that and illegal immigration and versus legal immigration. Same thing. Oh, these poor people, this is so bad. But they don't think about who that's actually affecting. Not only the people of the United States, but the people that are trying to do the right thing, that are only doing it because they're going through the proper channels, they're doing what they're supposed to do. The same thing goes for anything like a welfare or any of that stuff. That hurts the people that are actually in need. Mm-hmm. You know, the more money that is taken from that system and abused, the less they have to give out, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Exactly.
That's why you have a problem with illegal aliens too.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a million this year, and they're saying that an illegal alien cost us $86,000 a year, times a million. And
That wall is too expensive.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's common math, dude. It's like the easiest thing you could do. Like my 5-year-old could probably figure it out.
Are going into benefits for illegal immigrants. And, they want to give them voting rights now, of course. Guess where they're going to vote for? They're going to vote for the Democrats. And the Democrats like it because those illegal aliens are coming with oppressive mentalities. They want those people with those oppressive mentalities because they're easier to control. They're easier to manipulate. They want this elitist society that they're saying the whole left side is this, they project what they're doing on us. They project it on the conservatives. They project it on the people who actually care for this country. They don't give a hoot. Not one iota.
What do you think would happen to these same people from Guatemala, Central America, coming up through Mexico, coming to our border? These same people, what do you think would happen to them if they were trying to do that in China?
Oh. It would be a total.
I mean, the left is in love with China. What do you think the China government would do to these people trying to jump the border?
Oh, they chop their heads off. I mean, look at what China's doing with Christians. Look at what they're doing with Muslims. You're not allowed to have a different ideology. They want their people oppressed, but China's so great. But here's why China's so great. China, Biden, his son has, if you want to talk about collusion, there's no collusion. Ask Dianne Feinstein. Ask Joe Biden and his son about.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I would tell you, I was telling you to Joe. I was telling you that I don't think Joe's going to run because of that. He's got way too much heat on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always going to be
enough to even try it, though. That's the thing. Is like, look at how blatant and how arrogant they have become in the last few years, and it's getting worse for them. They're just, I mean, like AOC, she's flapping her arms, screaming, and Schiff, he's screaming, and it's like people are really, even people like the typical voter, the Democrat voter, like the Democrat voter versus the Democrats are two different parties to me. They're different people, because a Democrat voter is a person who's unaware, who relies on mainstream media, and they typically have a good heart. They just are not understanding everything. They're starting to see the ridiculousness in a lot of this stuff. The world's going to end, the sky's falling, and we only have 11 years, 360 something days. But she's so worried about we're all going to die, but she's still eating the hamburgers. She's still using the Uber driver. She's still, she doesn't recycle her plastic bags because that doesn't pertain to her. It's just the simple folk, the taco eaters from her taco shop days.
Right. What's the point of her even trying to have a career in politics if everything's going to be gone in 12 years?
I know. Let's party up. Let's just party for the next 12 years.
Well, I think there should be a station identification.
I think so.
You're listening. Wait, hold on. This is Brown Stain Fair, and you're listening to Chrissy on a Friday night chat, y'all. Give it up.
Yeah, so I'm currently listening to Chrissy Ann's Friday Night Chat, and I'm wearing my official red, white, and blue MAGA hat. I love this hat. It's a great hat.
What about the video?
There's a video. What video?
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to back up to the front of the video and watch it over again?
Oh yeah, we can watch the video.
I mean, that always seems to be the thing. Did you
Okay.
watch the video? Did you watch the video?
Just give me a second. I'm getting the video, all right?
But you got to back the video up to the front. Did you watch? We got to watch the whole thing from the beginning.
I'm getting the video.
Get it?
Where do you want me to start the video?
I need you to start it like at the beginning, like where I'm brushing my teeth.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the doll? Where's the doll? Where's the doll?
The dog.
So I'll be you'll see me getting dressed. I'm wearing gray boxers. But yeah, go all the way to the beginning.
Okay. I found
Okay.
it. Found it.
Okay.
The Raggedy Ann doll. The Raggedy Ann doll.
Okay. All right, are you there?
Hold on. Give me a second, all right?
Sorry.
All right, here we go. So go ahead and explain this.
Hold on. I got okay, so that's me. All right, you see me. Okay.
Are you
I'm
on the top or the
yeah.
bottom?
No, I'm in the back.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, who's that with the dreads?
I'm not sure.
Looks like a mop head to me.
Yeah, it's possibly. It looks like somebody I might know, but I'm not exactly sure. But at the time, I had ran into a couple of cucks, and they really pissed me off. So I had to take out some aggression on somebody, and basically that's where I ended up.
Yeah. Wow, that's an interesting video.
Hot tub. What about the hot tub? There was a hot tub.
Yeah, so I was in this hot tub with these 4 fat chicks, right? Heifers, right? And luckily I was wearing my official red, white, and blue mega hat. I love this hat. It's a great hat. But anyways, so I'm sitting in the hot tub and these cucks walk by. And I'm like, what's up, cucks? And they didn't even acknowledge me. So
I didn't acknowledge you.
no.
Who is talking right now? Who is that?
It's Nick.
No, you sound like somebody who we know, Nick. That's why I'm asking.
Who do I sound like?
I'm not gonna say. Anyway.
Okay. Well, I mean, probably. I don't know what tipped you off, but it might be my official red, white, and blue mega hat. I love this hat. It's a great hat.
What about the Raggedy Ann doll?
And to be honest, I mean, you don't see too many people in New York doing what I'm doing either, because I'll just walk up to these cucks. I don't even care.
Well, that is who I think it is speaking. Okay. Jeez, Nick.
What?
I mean, sorry. Nick, where were you this whole time? Oh, boy, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're back.
Nick was looking for properties for me.
That's exactly what I was doing. To be honest with you though, guys, this is just my 2 cents, right?
Right.
Why just 2 cents?
Well, you could have my 3 cents if you want, but this is going to be my 2 cents, right?
All right.
And maybe Chris could agree with me on this, but really,
I promise nothing.
No, you probably do, because I mean, listen to what I'm going to say here, because I bet you will understand as soon as I say it. But
go ahead.
I mean, you got what I need.
Oh no.
But you well, wait a minute, Nick.
Wait, don't tell me
you staged with the friend.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but I.
Oh.
Baby,
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Baby,
Oh, yeah.
need.
What?
But you?
Say he's just a friend.
Yeah.
What's your
Say
name?
he's just a friend.
A blah blah blah.
Oh baby, you're
God.
coming on me. He's just, oh, baby.
Hey, Nick, are you talking about that girl with the 9'10" shoes and a really big bra?
That's the same one, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's the same one. Yeah.
And she said her name was what again?
Well, I took blah
Blah,
blah
blah.
blah's word for it at at the beginning, but
Yeah.
There's a new venereal disease out now. It grows on the tip of your penis. It's like a genital wart, but the wart forms in like a cowboy hat, in the shape of a cowboy hat.
I want a little cowboy hat for my penis.
Move.
gotta keep it smooth, bro. Keep it smooth.
Good night, Michelle.
Michelle, keep it smooth.
Keep it smooth, Michelle.
Keep it smooth, Michelle.
She's going to bed already.
How many viewers we got?
No, we have
I don't know.
7. We have 7 in the
7.
chat. We have 1 million viewers, but 7 in the chat.
Well, that's a lucky number.
That is. But I think maybe
Keep it smooth.
we think we should wrap it up, y'all.
Oh, you should always wrap it up, especially if you don't know where she's been.
Yeah, right. But what about this show? Let's wrap it up, y'all.
Wicka, 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 wicka.
Before we wrap it up, we got to know where Chris is at and all that.
Oh yeah.
I am now in the Cleveland city limits.
Uh,
All
I have 2.5 hours to go.
All right. Any last words, Chris?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I wish I wasn't in Ohio. I wish I was, I don't know, somewhere else. Somewhere that's almost heaven. West Virginia.
West
Blue Ridge
Virginia, Mountain Mama,
make sure you have that.
take me home.
Make sure you have that piano tuned up tomorrow.
Yeah. No dice.
Chris hasn't tuned that piano since he bought it, I don't think.
Actually, I used to get it tuned every year, but I didn't this year. And it sits in an area where it's subject to a lot of temperature fluctuations.
Oh yeah.
As a piano player, you'd think you'd put it in a place that's safer than that, but no.
I know. It's just more convenient in the house right there.
That's all right. It's got that ragtime feel.
That's right. That's when my piano becomes a piano.
That's
Play
right.
it.
Pianer.
Piano.
It's a pianer at that point, Chris.
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
Mother, any last words for you, my dear?
Well, I for the lucky number of 7 people watching this tonight, I just want everyone to realize one thing. We're all going to get through this. Just stay strong. Keep your chin up. Move forward. And just fuck the world.
perfect.
Intelligent words.
Like
My
that.
grandmother used to say that all the time.
Mine too. Wow.
It's insane.
So, anyways, good night, y'all. Nick's gonna take us out. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.
You were listening at one point, but not anymore because we're ending the stream to Chrissy Ann, our Friday night chat on the Chrissy Ann channel with Fava Menace and Chris Voisey and Nick Boyens. Everybody have a great night, okay? Hey!